Hello again. Hello everyone. We're getting our program started. Hi, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Convocation 2023. I'd love to invite Rosa Peralta, our Board of Trustees Chair, to kick us off. Thank you.
Good morning. Buenos días. Gracias. As she said, I'm the new appointed chair of the Seattle College's Board of Trustees, Rosa Peralta. I've been on the board for a number of years now, and I will be serving as the chair for the 2023-2024 academic year. I serve on the board with 4 other members, 2 who are here, Trustee Teresita Batayola, who's sitting right there, and our immediate past chair, Trustee Luis Churning, who's also with us. And I want to also send a shout out to our other 2 trustees who couldn't be with us today, but they should be recognized. Brian Surratt, who is the vice chair, and our newest and probably most experienced trustee, Colleen Echohawk. I feel very fortunate to be able to serve with them. We have a fantastic board of trustees, probably the most diverse board in the state, if not the nation. We have an African-American male, queer white woman who has been doing a lot for our community, Filipina trustee, a queer Mexican, and an indigenous person, the first indigenous trustee in the state of Washington. I want to welcome all of you. We have over 300 people that are here today. Thank you for being here. I first want to thank our faculty. You do an incredible job of educating our students. Many of you not only are teachers, but also mentors and friends to our students, making yourselves available nearly 24/7 through email, social media, texting, in-person meetings, high fives in the hall, and so on. You do a stellar job of balancing scholarship, service, and teaching. All outstanding colleges are built around a dedicated and gifted faculty, and we have the best faculty here at Seattle Colleges. I also want to say thank you to our staff for being here. You, the staff members, you are the unsung heroes. We need terrific faculty in our classrooms for sure, and talented students on our campuses, but you are the glue that keeps this enterprise going. From helping someone with a payroll issue, to keeping our campuses looking spectacular, from assisting students in a myriad of ways and bringing a smile to someone on a cloudy day, and we have many of those in Seattle, you make a world of a difference. Thank you. Also, welcome and thank you to our leadership team, from presidents, vice chancellors, deans, and department directors, and to everyone in between. We benefit enormously from inspirational leaders across our campuses. You raise funds, find creative ways to do more with less, and are expected to be on and available virtually all day, all the time. And you maintain a consistently positive attitude while doing so. We cannot move Seattle Colleges to new heights without excellent academic leadership, and we have super leaders. Thank you for being here, our leadership team. I want to share a little bit about the responsibilities of the Board of Trustees. This is going to be really, really exciting for you to hear. Is the fun part. So we have unique responsibilities. You know, as the Board of Trustees, we are a 5-member board, as I mentioned earlier, and we're appointed by the governor and confirmed by the Washington State Senate. The role of the board is to provide leadership through policy, governance of the colleges, and to select and supervise and evaluate the chancellor. We ensure that the institution functions effectively through oversight, policies, approval of operating budgets, and responsible use of resources, and we also approve tenure. We don't engage in day-to-day operations. We show up to our meetings and try to provide direction to the chancellor. And speaking of the chancellor, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce to Seattle Colleges our new permanent chancellor. Dr. Rimando-Chareunsap has dedicated much of her career to Seattle Colleges. She stepped in as acting chancellor in July of 2022 while maintaining her role as president of South Seattle College. She previously served as the vice chancellor for equity, diversity, and inclusion for the district and has held important roles across the system for more than 20 years. That is commitment to Seattle Colleges. She holds a BA in English and Ethnic Studies from Washington State University. She's a very, very proud Cougar. And she did some time at Washington, the University of Washington, where she got her Master's of Public Administration. You won't hear her yelling for the Huskies here. And back to the Cougs, she got her PhD, her Doctorate of Education from WSU. Dr. Rosie has led Seattle Colleges over the past year, first as acting and then interim, and now, finally, as permanent chancellor. She has led the colleges with courage, skill, and a profound passion for students, faculty, staff, and the Seattle community. Dr. Rosie was appointed as the 11th chancellor of Seattle Colleges on August 3rd by the Board of Trustees, and we could not be happier to have her lead us through this next phase of Seattle Colleges. Please give a warm welcome to Dr. Rosie Rimando-Chareunsap.
Okay. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. Have a seat. It'll only go longer if you keep standing. Thank you, Trustee Peralta, for that warm introduction. And it's interesting when you sit down and listen to your years totaled up like that. But I can say, I'd love to say to everybody in the room, and again, if you're standing and you'd like a seat, there are open seats at different tables. If folks could just shoot a hand up for a couple seconds just to let folks know where there might be open spots. I'd love for everybody to be comfortable this morning. Thank you. Welcome to South Seattle College. This is where I spent much of my career. I have done a lot of things in this room. I have hosted President's Days. I have done convocations here. When I worked with the Upward Bound program, we even did a lock-in in here. I slept on these floors when I was a trio advisor at one point, at another point in my career. And so it's with great pride that I welcome you to South Seattle College today. Before we get too far into, oh, thank you. Sorry, I need that. I know, I'm sorry. I came up with too many things. I've got my fan. Anybody who saw me in the interview process remembers the fan. These lights are warm. Before we get too far into the program, though, I would like to start with our land and labor acknowledgement. And I would like to welcome DeAndre Fisher, Associate Vice Chancellor for Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Community, to the podium.
Here, oh, there it is. Yes, greetings, community, and I also have our colleague Lexis here as well, and we're going to do this together. My name is DeAndre Fisher, he, him pronouns. Once again, Lexis.
Hi everyone, I'm Alexis Barrios. I'm the navigator for Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Community here at South Seattle College.
We're going to read our updated statement on our land and labor acknowledgements moving forward.
First, I'd like to say it's an honor to be here with you all, and I'd like to also share that on Wednesday, September 6th, Chancellor Dr. Rosie, the college presidents, and members of the Seattle colleges attended Washington State Board for Community and Technical Colleges, Puget Sound Government to Government Summit with tribal leaders at Renton Technical College. Seattle College's members and 11 other area community and technical college members had a roundtable discussion with tribal community members, tribal leaders from across Washington State, and strengthened relationships during the day-long gathering. The Government to Government Summit drew tribal leaders from Muckleshoot, Snoqualmie, and the Suquamish tribes. During the summit, we learned from each other and explored opportunities for ways to increase the number of Indigenous and Native students within the SBCTC system. More importantly, we created partnerships and trust with our tribal members. Dr. Denise Bill, Executive Director of Muckleshoot Education and Adult and Higher Education, welcomed the start of our relationship building and stated we really need each other and we can all do this together.
Concluding this summit, Dr. Rosie set forth a charge for us within the Seattle colleges to convene an Indigenous roundtable discussion. It's really loud. Scheduled for Tuesday, October 17th, 1 to 3. More information will be sent out to the Seattle colleges. As we engage into this process and understanding how we bring our colleagues together who are invested within our Native and Indigenous student population, it is important that the Seattle colleges pause from reading our land and labor acknowledgements, because we are critical that land and labor acknowledgements should not and would not become just a token gesture, but more so land acknowledgements should be more than just that, and it should not be a scripted statement that everybody should recite and do it the same way. They are truly expressions of the relationships that we have with our tribal leaders in our Indigenous and Native communities. Therefore, the Seattle colleges will spend this academic year, 2023-2024, to build tribal relationships with the institutional actions. To build tribal relationships is an action said by Lynn Palmerholder, who is the director of the tribal government affairs at the state board. These relationships are to be real, authentic, and long-term to really reap the benefits.
Our goal is to build tribal relationships with the original occupants and stewards of the lands where Seattle Colleges gathers, the traditional home of the Coast Salish people, the traditional home of all tribes and bands within the Duwamish, Suquamish, Tulalip, and Muckleshoot nations. While on our journey to build real and authentic tribal relationships, we encourage the Seattle Colleges community to consider their responsibilities to the people and the land, both here and elsewhere, and to stand in solidarity with Native, Indigenous, and First Nations people and their sovereignty, cultural heritage, and lives.
Ashe, ashe, ashe.
Thank you.
Thank you, DeAndre and Alexis. And now, as a moment to begin with a bit of the end in mind today, we've got a nice video here detailing some of the behind the scenes and experience of our most recent commencement at T-Mobile Park in June 2023. we know that our students are the reason why we're here doing this work. And so I should have challenged somebody not to smile. Like, every time I see one of those videos, I always end up with a huge grin on my face because you can't help but feel some of the emotion between those hugs, between those smiles, and those experiences that our students have with us. So thank you to our team, our communications team, for sharing that with us today. It's a wonderful way to help us kick off. As you might notice, there's been a lot of excitement getting ready for the academic year, and I think that I remember experiencing this as a high school teacher at one point, but this is the time of year that, sure enough, my voice starts to falter, so you'll see me sipping on tea or having a lozenge, but there's just too much excitement going on and too many things to pour our energy into, so forgive me as my voice gets a little bit strained throughout the day, but I am very excited to be here. And our work is really in service to our students and really made possible through meaningful partnerships, whether they're partnerships with the external community, like what DeAndre and Alexis were talking about in lieu of our Land and Labor acknowledgement, or they're partnerships with one another. And some of the most important partnerships within the colleges are those with our labor partners. And so I'd like to welcome to the podium for their remarks for the year, Johnny Dwyer, President of WFC, Elena Ribeiro, President of AFT Faculty, and Rachel Gunther and Willow Schooler, co-presidents for AFT professional staff. Please join me on the podium. Thank you.
Wow, there sure are a lot of you out there. Good morning, everyone. My name is Johnny Dwyer. I am an IT worker serving our district-wide educational community. I am a proud alumnus of Seattle Central's IT programs. I'm also the president of the Washington Federation of State Employees Local 304, the union representing classified workers at the Seattle colleges and other state employees across King County. We are Washington's safety net. It is in my capacity as Local 304's president I was invited to address our gathering today. I'm certain many of you remember the warm and tender notions I shared at Convocation 2022. I've returned for a repeat performance this year, and let me begin by saying, what a difference a year makes. While we still have many miles of travel before classified workers at the Seattle colleges achieve the sort of equity and like values trumpeted by college administration, I'm very pleased to report that we're on the road. Many of our WFC sisters, brothers, and family members are still patiently waiting for their day, but still many others have seen real advancement. We have discovered a previously unknown spirit of cooperation and collaboration with the new chancellor and campus administration. Administration has heard us on some glaring systemic issues and acted on them, not the least of which were the ending of the inequitable winter closure policy and a long overdue shakeup of the Siegel Center Old Boy Network. We are pleased about this, what it means, and what it could mean as our labor carries the colleges into the future. It is our sincere hope this progress continues until the warm embrace of equity is felt by all classified employees, including our custodians here at South, our maintenance mechanics and security officers at Central, our enrollment and student services staff at North, and all of us in between. I appreciate the opportunity to speak today. If you'd like to know more about what WFC is doing, please visit our table. Or if you're a classified staff ready to join us, again, visit our table. Thanks again, and happy Convocation.
Hi. I'm not great with microphones. I kind of prefer bullhorns, and I'm used to just keeping my face on it. But put my coffee there. Hi, I'm Elena Ribeiro. I'm English faculty at Central, And for the next 2 years, I'll be serving as AFT Seattle's district president. Thank you to WFC and AFT Pro staff. Welcome, Willow and Rachel. Johnny, nice to see you again. We look forward to working closely with you to secure the working conditions we all deserve. And welcome to all our new faculty, and shout out to all those folks coming in hot from UAW at UW. I know there's some of you out there, and hoping you're bringing that fire. After years, like Johnny also have an update, after some years of a stalled salary reopener, we fought like hell, rallied, petitioned, walked out, and were finally able to secure open negotiations and salary increase from the district, as well as a COLA from the state. While the total amount does not come close to meeting the pay cuts we take every year when we adjust our salaries for inflation, it was the largest pay increase we have ever received from local funds. We were able to accomplish this because we built unprecedented rank and file power, and we are now ready to mobilize for larger changes we need to see in our working conditions. That wasn't an applause line. This quarter, we'll begin negotiating our whole contract, and that includes our salaries again. And faculty will continue to be directly involved in the negotiations process via contract article committees, frequent membership meetings, and participation in open negotiations. This marks a change in how we've historically negotiated, and it will require the participation of all of our union members. This is just one of many transitions we're in, but I always like to think that chaos equals opportunity. Many of us on the e-board are new to our positions, and we're learning as we go. We see this as an opportunity for all of us to learn together and continue to build the powerful local we need to secure our futures in our colleges. Some folks from the new board. We've got Senate Presidents, South, Denise Grolmus, Lyle Cruz, I know is here, Jay McLean-Riggs at Central, Lyle's at North. Also, Denise is available for all your union tattoo needs. President for part-time faculty, Natalie Simmons. Membership chairs are Anna Shaver and Kat Cabral. Our negotiation chairs, Cristobal Borges and Dave Ellenwood. Communications and technology chair is Deepa Bandaru. And Central's part-time representative is Captain Robert Earl from Maritime. We'll be working on ways that we can all work together a little at a time so that we can build out an engaged, participatory, activist union to secure the working conditions that we and our students deserve. I like to call it horizontalism, but if that feels too jingoey, we can just say many hands make light work. As we have seen in the wave of strikes and big wins we have witnessed by teachers across the country in the last decade, this is an evidence-based, proven strategy to win not only livable salaries, but vibrant community resources for our students, like better classrooms, food on campus, more permanent teachers, more staff for academic counseling and support, and housing. So I feel a little funny invoking JFK, but let's just say, ask not what your union can do for you, but what we can do for each other. Because that is how we win the colleges we all deserve. We'll be sending out, thank you, Althea. We'll be sending out a robust email with more information, some survey questions, and updated contact info in the next couple of weeks. Till then, think about some ways in which you'd like to participate in your union. Buddies, it takes all kinds of labor. If you enjoy research and smaller group discussion, consider joining a contract article team to study our current contract and suggest revisions. If you enjoy building relationships and checking in with your colleagues, consider attending or joining the Faculty Senate at your college, which will be focusing on outreach and membership drives and which count towards service commitments for your EEPDs, new folks. If you enjoyed thinking through strategy and direct action, which we all know gets the goods, join our contract action team, which will meet weekly to plot out negotiations, action strategy, and tactics. If you enjoy live chats and sharing spicy animated GIFs, join our AFT Seattle Slack channel, where we can share information asynchronously and also have lively chat feeds during negotiation sessions. We will also invite you to attend reading groups on building union power, workshops on doing outreach, having organizing conversations with your colleagues, interpreting and managing the contract and grievances, and how to build powerful locals via member engagement, via member and community participation and engagement. It sounds like a lot, but our goal is to build a culture of participation and engagement that never feels onerous or overwhelming. That if we have multiple modes and opportunities for members to participate in our union's work and decisions, we could all know a little bit about what's going on and share the labor of building and maintaining our union, a long-haul relay marathon rather than an exhausting sprint every 3 years when our contract expires. By fighting together and with our sibling unions in AFT Pro Staff and WFSI for healthy, sustainable working conditions for our faculty and staff, we fight for strong, responsive colleges that serve our students best. We know that regardless of DEI intentions and initiatives, it's robust salaries and just, supportive working conditions that can attract and retain a more diverse workforce. When our staff colleagues don't have to leave for higher salaries elsewhere, we get to keep the rich institutional knowledge that helps students navigate complicated processes across our 3 colleges. And we can also get paid accurately and on time. When our faculty colleagues can stay in their jobs, we have fewer search and tenure committees to fill, which requires serious time, energy, and resources from faculty and administrators. This is what we mean when we say that faculty working conditions are student learning conditions. They are one and the same. This year, let's all fight together for the colleges that we workers and our students deserve. Be on the lookout for some emails. Please read them. And we'll have a little table set up during lunch hour. Come sign a membership form, take a picture of a QR code, say hi, hang out. Thank you.
This part up here. Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me all right? Tough acts to follow. I'd like to thank Johnny and Helena for the warm welcome. That better? That better? There we go. Hello, everybody. I'd like to thank Johnny and Helena for the nice warm welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you and to work with you in solidarity for our unions and making Seattle colleges a much better place. Hello, everybody. Greetings. My name is Rachel Ginthner. I use she, her pronouns. I'm an academic advisor here at South Seattle College, and it's an honor and a pleasure.
Hi, everybody. My name is Willis Schooler. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm an embedded career specialist, also at South.
We're fortunate enough to serve as co-presidents for the Seattle Professional Staff Union, Local 6550. We, along with some other members, are a part of the new executive board serving more than 200 exempt staff for the 2023-2024 academic year. We are excited to serve you, and we're excited to celebrate our victories that we saw already this summer with COLAs and retention raises hitting our long-serving staff members. And we're also here to have more members engage with the issues facing professional staff in this upcoming year, and that includes things like workload, fair hiring practices, fair evaluations, and ultimately have more members engage with our union.
And we'll be having a general membership meeting on November 3rd, as well as a membership drive this fall, so be on the lookout for further communication from us as fall quarter gets rolling. Enough about logistics, though. We're honestly just here for you, our members. We are here to enforce the contract, push for better working conditions, and ensure that every voice is heard and our members have a seat at every table. But ultimately, we're here to listen and to care.
Please use us as a resource. See us as a toolbox that we're able to help in whatever issue, no matter how big or small. And we're really looking forward to serving all of you in this upcoming year. Please come and visit us at our table, and thank you all so much, and happy Convocation.
Many thanks once again to our colleagues for addressing your members and one another today. Well, for those that I haven't yet met, as they have shared earlier, my name is Rosie Rimando-Chareunsap, and as Trustee Peralta shared earlier, I started in this role officially August 3rd, but have been in the office as the acting and then the interim chancellor since last summer. And I want you to know a few other important things about me as we begin or continue our work together today. First, this is my 24th year in the Seattle colleges. I spent most of those years here at South, as I shared, and in various roles in student services in particular. And I have loved every job I've had in the district so far. Second, but really I should have said it first, I am the mom of a 4th and a 6th grader. Middle school is new for me as of a couple weeks ago. And I'm also a proud spouse of a Seattle College graduate. In fact, my kids grew up here. They were enrolled in the child care center here when they were young. And my husband returned to college after the last recession. And he completed a degree in culinary arts here at South, and then went on to have earn his Bachelor's of Applied Science in hospitality management as well. So in defense of my own record, I'm not the only one who didn't get a degree or didn't attend here. In 2001, 2002, I attended North Seattle College and completed the Econs series 201 and 202 in preparation for my graduate degree. So I too have attended the Seattle colleges like the rest of my family. So I'm proud of that. Yesterday I was at a press conference and my voice was much worse, and every time I sipped tea, people would applaud because it was as if I was pausing for effect. So don't do that. It's going to make it last really long, but I will be sipping tea as we go. And finally, as Trustee Peralta said, I guess as my reputation precedes me, although I attended both WSU and UW, I am a proud Coug, and definitely more Cougar than Husky. So go Cougs, go Pac-2, and as any Coug will tell you, the thing we know best is we don't need to have a winning team to be passionately loyal to our alma mater. We know pride, and we have an unshakable belief in how awesome we are. So Southies know that I bring some of that energy. I used to bring some of that energy to my identity as an otter. We didn't have sports, but I was our biggest cheerleader. And I want everyone in the room to know that I do take pride in all of the identities that I hold now. In addition to being a Coug and a little bit Husky, being an otter, being a tiger, being a tree frog, and as I have dubbed the district office folks, seagulls. That's the unofficial mascot, so caca, caca. We like French fries. And speaking of teams, I also want to introduce you to a couple of teams that I work most closely with. First is the Chancellor's Office team. We are small but mighty. I'd like to ask folks to stand when I call your name. Ricky Getz, he's Senior Executive Assistant to the Board of Trustees. Thank you, Ricky. And Vanessa Johnson, Senior Executive Assistant to the Chancellor. And now the Chancellor's Executive Cabinet. Please stand when I call your name. Julian Geider, Vice Chancellor of Finance and Operations. Jennifer Dixon, Vice Chancellor of Human Resources. DeAndre Fisher, Associate Vice Chancellor for Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Community. Carrie Howell, Vice Chancellor of Advancement and CEO of the Seattle Colleges Foundation. Kathy Kwilinski, Executive Director of International Programs. Melody McMillan, Senior Executive Director of Seattle Promise. Ernest Phillips, Associate Vice Chancellor of Communications and Strategic Initiatives. Dr. Cindy Ritchie, Chief Information Officer. And Veronica Wade, Interim Executive Dean for Workforce Programs. And of course, the college presidents. Dr. Sayumi Irie, Acting President at South Seattle College as of September 1st. Dr. Bradley Lane, Interim President at Seattle Central. And Dr. Rachel Solemsas, Interim President at North Seattle College, who's starting today. As we welcome Dr. Irie and Dr. Solemsas into their roles, I would also like to acknowledge and thank two people who have also led over this last year. First, although she's not here, Dr. Jean Hernandez, who served as Interim President at South. As of September 1st, she has retired to sunny Madison, Wisconsin. And Jill Lane, who served as Acting President at North over the summer, following Dr. Crawford's departure for Everett. Jill, if you're in the room, please stand and be recognized. And thank you for your leadership and insight over what I can assure our colleagues today was a very, very busy summer. Oh, that's right. Vanessa's reminding me. Jill's attending a conference with tech leaders on our behalf. So please, in her absence, let her know that the room was roaring with applause. We're really grateful for her. So as we take the time today and on Thursday and President's Days at all three colleges to consider the year ahead, there's still quite a bit of change coming in our organization. Foremost on my plate will be working with you all to conduct successful open searches for the president roles at each of the colleges. It is a unique opportunity to find 3 leaders at the same time, and I look forward to engaging with you all at your colleges to define the president roles together. And then we will build 3 search committees that will include the effective inclusive practices that we've developed over time in the Seattle colleges. So look for more announcements from me for how to get engaged in this work in October. This is also a critical year for us as an organization. The previous 5-year strategic plan was supposed to span 2017 to 2023. But considering the impacts of the pandemic smack dab in the middle of that plan, the Board of Trustees approved our request to extend until July 2024. And you'll learn more today about the bridge plan that's been doing just that. It's bridging the work that we planned out from 2017 to 2023 and will bridge us into the new strategic planning that we will be doing leading into next year. And so after my remarks, you're going to spend some time engaged around this when I hand the mic over to Dr. Bradley Lane and Greg Dempsey, who are leading our institutional effectiveness work district-wide. So as I interviewed for the role, I shared about my vision that if given the chance to lead the Seattle colleges, I wanted to lead us into our new era of excellence together. I am humbled and excited to be able to start that work with you all. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that excellence doesn't already exist for us. In fact, it's everywhere. I'm sure that if I asked you to turn to your neighbors, chat about things that you're proud of, or share important work that you're doing, it wouldn't take long for you to discover really incredible things happening in every corner of the colleges that each of you represents here. There is already so much to be proud of across the Seattle colleges. But I also know that education is not a destination, but an ongoing journey that we're on. Much like when we talk about aspiring to become an anti-racist, anti-biased organization, we can't claim to be one until we do the work to develop into one. The environment we find ourselves in today is incredibly different than it was even 5 years ago. We have gone through a pandemic together. We have seen the language of racial equity and anti-racism evolve really quickly over the last 3 years. Technology like Zoom, automation, AI, they're evolving faster than sometimes we can keep a grasp of. And our students have changed a lot too, specifically in how they want to access their education and how they expect us or need us to show up for them in so many ways. So in a time like this where I think about the challenges in our environment, I turn to our identity as a teaching and learning organization. Of course, we are educators. We teach and instruct in the fields, the subjects our students come to us for, but we are also an organization of learners. We adapt, we expand, we focus, we shift our focus, we evolve. And we are capable of evolving our systems and our colleges for the right reasons, to better serve our students first and foremost, to better achieve racial and educational justice, to better close gaps in access and success, and to better support one another in the shared work that we have. There's a quote that I feel applies to our approach to improvement, and it was attributed to Maya Angelou. Do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, do better. I think that what Alexis and DeAndre shared today about how we're seeking to evolve our use of land and labor acknowledgements is a prime example of that. We started doing something because it was the right thing to do, to start to pause and acknowledge the land we're on, the space we occupy, the history that exists here before our use. And now that we're learning more and engaging, seeking to engage better with our tribal communities, we are seeking to evolve that and change that. And so in pursuit of that, we know we have been doing the best we have known how to do for so many years. And now that things are changing rapidly around us, our students deserve nothing less than for us to do better. So in pursuit of this excellence together, and for the sake of our students, I look forward to leading the Seattle colleges alongside you all. Our students are already among the most diverse, most incredible, and most inspiring in all of higher education. I hope you will agree with me that they deserve nothing but excellence from us. So how will we accomplish this? I believe that we achieve our next level of excellence with a both-and philosophy. And I always thank Ricardo Leyva Puebla for teaching me about this concept many years ago when we worked together here at South. That we will bring the strength of our organization by being both strong colleges, South, Central, North, with distinctive programs serving various communities throughout Seattle, and by being the strongest higher education institution in the state as these Seattle colleges. As a district, we are already among the most diverse. We are the second largest higher ed institution, second only to the University of Washington, and larger even than my beloved Washington State University. We are the largest community college district in the state, larger than Bellevue, larger than Clark, larger than any of the other multi-college districts in our state. We have 18 legislators that represent us, where other colleges may only have 3 or 6. And as has become apparent over the last couple of years actually, of philanthropic and corporate fundraising, we have the support of some powerhouses. Gates Foundation, Lowe's, Amazon, Microsoft, Costco, Ballmer Group, the Mariners, the Kraken, the list goes on. I wish I could say the Seattle Supersonics, but that'll be in the future. Oh, that's the applause point, okay. But we will not pursue excellence for the sake of excellence alone. We must use these superlatives to our students and our community's advantage. While we strive to be the best, we must maintain the humility that's required to continually learn how to create more educational justice and how to evolve our practices for the sake of our students' success, not our own. So I invite you to feel a sense of pride in who we are, both as otters or tigers or tree frogs, or yes, even seagulls. And let's come together, let's connect, let's evolve the Seattle colleges to be that absolute best that each of our students deserve. And also, just to call back to what our labor partners, Elena Rivera, said, what you all deserve as well. Thank you very much. I really look forward to this year together, and I look forward to your engagement throughout today. Thank you. As promised, I would like to introduce and invite to the podium Dr. Bradley Lane and Greg Dempsey, who will talk to us a bit about the strategic plan this year.
Good morning, everybody. It's exciting to be here and address you. Greg and I are leading work district-wide this year on the development of the new strategic plan, and we have a couple updates that we want to give you, both about work that is happening already this year, work that you can get involved in if you are excited to help point the future direction of the district and our 3 awesome colleges, and also give you information about sessions that are going to happen later today once our session in this room concludes. So next slide, please. As the Chancellor mentioned, the Seattle College's Board of Trustees authorized an extension of this previous strategic plan. It started in 2017. It was supposed to end at the end of last academic year, but for those of you who have been here with us the past few years, we've had a lot going on. And as a result of that, the board said, you know, let's just pause. Let's wait for new permanent leadership. Let's focus on the things that we know we need to do to kind of stabilize the colleges, especially after such a disruptive pandemic environment. And then, when the time is right, embark on the development of a new strategic plan. So our previous strategic plan, it had 4 goals, 1 on student success, 1 on equity, diversity, inclusion, and community, 1 on organizational excellence, and 1 on partnerships. And what we have done this past year and what we will continue to do this year is advance 10 board-approved strategies that aligned to these goals that the district already was undertaking. In student success, it meant the redesign and process improvement in financial aid and admissions district-wide, and it also meant continuing to advance the 4 priorities that our colleges are really focusing on as a part of the guided pathways redesign efforts that each of them are engaged in. This means improving the intake and onboarding experience for students, improving the exploratory sequence and the first year experience for students, improving placement processes, and making sure that we have real-time, real-life program maps for every single one of our educational programs. In the equity, diversity, and inclusion community goal, our colleagues have been developing a racial equity plan. In the organizational excellence goal, our colleagues have been working to balance budgets, and we have balanced budgets at all 3 colleges now. Yeah, as a result of this kind of work. The Chancellor has been working on efforts to improve employee retention in ways that our collective bargaining partners spoke to their working conditions. We want to make Seattle colleges a place that people want to stay and want to thrive and have really wonderful professional futures. So all of this work closely aligns with our bridge plan, as well as the partnerships goal through the Seattle Colleges Foundation to have a very successful campaign called Equity Can't Wait. These were things we knew we were taking on as a district, and they align to the work that we were doing previously in our strategic plan. If you want to learn more about any of these goals, we're going to have sessions after our a time in this room together, one roughly from 11 to 11:30, another from 11:30 to 12. They're going to be 4 sessions. They will take place over in Olympic Hall. You have the ability to go to 2 if you like, because we're just going to redo the same sessions in both time slots. But you can go to the student success, the EDIC, the organizational excellence, or the partnerships session to learn more about the work that's already been taken up, especially last year, along each of these strategies, and find ways to get involved if you want. Now, while we're doing that, we're also embarking on the development of a whole new strategic plan that will take us multiple years into the future, maybe up to, say, 2030. Next slide. So one of the things, apologies for the really small font, just in case you can't see, let me call out a few things. One being that we're developing a district-wide strategic planning committee. There are opportunities to get engaged, and I'll tell you how at the end. But over the course of the fall and the winter, there'll also be opportunities to participate in forums to really gain your sense of priorities. What directions do you want the colleges and the district to head? What should be the 3 or 4 most important things that we take on for the next few years? This will be your opportunity to engage and to shape those directions. So look for opportunities to join the strategic planning committee, look for opportunities to participate in the kind of engagement forums that they'll have where we'll do environmental scanning and get community feedback, especially from staff, faculty, and students. Next slide, please. What you'll see is this work is going to go in parallel. We're still going to be advancing the student success and organizational excellence and equity and partnerships goals in the bridge plan while we're building our new plan. So this will be a busy year, and it will be easy, I think, to feel overwhelmed. But the point is, it's important as a district that we spend some time thinking about the direction we want to take and what's most important to us as we plot our future. One of the things I've learned about strategic planning and in my time working with the institutional effectiveness group is that making strategic plans, it's not about predicting the future or trying to figure out some trend that's coming. It's about imagining the future that you actually want and then working backward to make sure you can do it. That's what we're going to do next year. And that's what we'll need you to participate in with us. And so with that being said, I'm going to turn things over to my colleague, Greg. I think we're going to engage you in a really quick activity just to get some feedback from you about our mission, our vision, and our values. And if you're interested in this work, come to one of the sessions later on today to get more involved. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Lane. My name is Greg Dempsey. I serve as the Executive Director of Institutional Effectiveness at South Seattle College. Also highly engaged with my colleagues who are part of the Seattle College's District Institutional Effectiveness team. I apologize for the frog in my throat. Like Dr. Rosie, I have 2 kids that just started school last week, and that's probably where I got that. But without further delay, on the screen, you can see our current mission, vision, and values statement. This was adopted in 2017 through our first district-wide strategic planning process. This is adopted and approved by the board. After some assessment, engagement, and conversations with our board and chancellor this year, we feel that this is still relevant to who we are and what we want to be. And so I'm going to ask everyone to take about 30 seconds and just read what you see on the screen and individually reflect on where you see yourself and where you see your work in our mission, vision, and values. Okay. It's not very often that we get to have time to actually reflect on this. I would highly encourage you throughout the academic year to take time out of your day or your work week and just remind yourself of our mission, vision, and values. If you haven't already done so, and as Dr. Lane mentioned, I get to have the pleasure of kind of kicking off our engagement or our activity around strategic planning. We're going to do a small reflection activity. We're going to get to move around, not physically, but mentally. So if you haven't already done so, you can see that there is a QR code on the screen. If you have a device that will allow you to grab that picture or pull up the website, if you cannot see that, is Menti, that is MENTI.com. And if you need to use the website to pull it up, there is a code, and that code is 87146374. You're probably maybe seeing a blank screen right now. It's not giving you any options. That's because it will not activate until we click on the next slide. So for the next 3 or 4 slides, we're going to ask you to do some reflection on our current values. So next slide, please. Okay, of the 7 Seattle College's values, which values is most important to you? And when you select, you can go down to them and make sure you hit submit. And we will be keeping this data and information and reflecting on this throughout the academic year through our planning process. We anticipate this will spark further questions and develop priorities for us as an organization. So currently, as you can see, diversity is rising to the top there. Sure, yes. I can once I get my glasses on, so. Not only are they small for you, they're small for me. The first one in blue is accessibility at 15%. Collaboration is pink, 13%. DIE is 30%, the red one. Fiscal sustainability is 7%. 13% green is growth and engagement. 11% is purple innovation. And then 11% is integrity. Okay, next slide, please. Of the 7 Seattle College's values, where do we need to improve and prioritize? I believe it'll let you select up to 2. These are fun to watch in action, aren't they? Wow. Pretty even distribution there. So currently integrity is at the lowest part, meaning that folks feel that that needs less priority or work. So pretty evenly distributed among the 7 values there. Let's go ahead and get to the next slide. Okay, one more on the values here. Of the 7 Seattle College's values, where do we excel and shine? Okay. Strong commitment to EDI work. collaboration, integrity, accessibility, and innovation are crawling up there. Okay, so we have one more activity here, and this is going to be a word cloud. So we'll go ahead and go to the next slide. And just want to get your opinion on what supports a successful strategic planning process. And you have the option to put in a couple of words there. Money, accountability. So communication, transparency, accountability, leadership, accountability, sorry, I said that already, inclusion. It's very challenging to read this as it moves around. Okay, I definitely want to keep us on our scheduled time, but I do greatly appreciate your participation in this brief activity. As Dr. Lane mentioned, we are launching a district-wide steering committee in the fall, and an announcement about who will be part of that group will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. But there will be opportunities to engage in this throughout the academic year. So myself and Dr. Lane, we greatly look forward to working closely with you and your colleagues over the academic year to really put the future of the Seattle Colleges District forward through our new strategic plan. So without further delay, I'd like to welcome Dr. Rosie back up to the podium.
Thank you both. I tried to stamp a picture of it because it was flashing so quickly, but I mean, it feels pretty true to form. Communication, collaboration, transparency, inclusion, engagement, accountability. Those stand out as the largest words there. And I would say in any case where I've asked for feedback about a process or we've talked about what the challenges are and how to overcome them, I think these are the words that we talk about most often needing. So thank you for that. It's interesting. Thank you to those who put emojis in there. That was fun too. It takes heart, it takes smiley face, it takes a lot of things. So, but these things I think weren't a surprise for me. So thank you for that. And next, another thing that we do with our Convocation days are we get to celebrate awards and folks and work from across the organization. And one of those awards that we recognize is the Innovation of the Year. And this year's innovation, and the way that we bestow this award is as a member of the League for Innovation. It's a number of other colleges, thank you, established over 35 years ago. The League's Innovation of the Year Awards were devised as a way to recognize significant innovations at board and alliance member colleges. We're a member, and you can read what's here on the screen. We're a member of the League for Innovation in the community colleges and have been for many, many years. It reflects significant achievements, the spirit of innovation and experimentation, and it recognizes faculty, staff, and administrators and efforts that they have built over time that have proven to be successful and demonstrate that spirit of innovation. And this year, the Innovation Award recognizes the Discover Seattle Colleges program for the 2022-2023 year award. And to help illustrate, there's a lot of names here to recognize, and they'll be on the screen in a few minutes. But just to help illustrate that it takes many hands. If you were involved in Discover Seattle Colleges, whether in the planning or in the implementation through presentations or meeting with students, please stand so that your colleagues can see you. I know that there are a number of you in this room who are part of this, either as presenting faculty, as organizers, or as folks who help support this. There's more of you, I know. And you'll see some more names on the screen here shortly. Discover Seattle Colleges is an annual district-wide recruitment campaign piloted during the pandemic and going on its 4th year. The campaign includes 2 main week-long activities. The first is a series of online Zoom events organized in 8 areas of study, which invite prospective students and their families, as well as current students, to get inspired about their future careers. Participants are welcomed by recruitment staff each night. They join breakout rooms to listen to Seattle College's faculty present about their programs. And the following week, a series of open house events at our colleges and specialty centers, including many of the sites that are around the city, kick off as well. Prospects from the first week and the public are invited to learn more in person and get started on their career path through campus tours, campus student services, scholarships, clubs and employment tabling, classroom demonstrations, food, the best recruiter of all, college giveaways, and more. The program demonstrates the true collaborative and district-wide effort from our faculty and staff. The results of our efforts continue to have an impact with tens of thousands of social media impressions, thousands of link clicks, hundreds of attendees, and ultimately applications and enrollments to our colleges. We now have more than 200 video presentations from our faculty posted on our recruitment strategy and enhancing our image and reputation in the community and with our education and civic partners. It's building quite a library of who we are as the Seattle Colleges. Congratulations to all who participated and contributed to this event, and especially to the Planning Committee, acknowledged by the League of Innovation 2022-2023 Innovation of the Year Award. Let's give a hand for our colleagues. I hope that you'll look forward to when these events occur again over the year, whether it is through encouraging people in your community, in your network, or people that you work with, or whether it's participating in some of these through presentations or in the helping to plan it. It's a lot of fun, and it draws in students, and it's our opportunity to really shine as the Seattle Colleges and have students have the chance to learn about each of the colleges and each of the programs through the best recruiters of all, the faculty talking about what it is that they love to do and what they love to teach. So thank you to everybody. I also wanted to remind folks, I meant to do it at the top of the hour, or at the top of the program, that we've organized for headshots again. Out in the hallway, there's 2 rooms where you can do headshots. I want to get that one right. Headshots. I hear there's even hair and makeup, so be sure to take advantage of that. They're free, and then the digital proofs will be delivered to you at some point as well. But thank you to our comms team for organizing this and bringing this popular resource back from last year. Next, I'd like to talk a bit about the Lifelong Learning Awards. So, speaking of excellence, the Lifelong Learning Awards are decided by the Board of Trustees and awarded to colleagues in various areas, in faculty, classified, and exempt staff. And it's in support of the importance of continued intellectual and professional growth for all members of the Seattle Colleges. It's conceived of as a means of rewarding excellence. Its primary purpose is to encourage faculty, staff, and administrators of the college community to value and actively pursue learning for the sake of learning. And this year, we wanted to take the time. Sometimes we realized we wanted to adjust the timing. We typically ask for nominations in the spring. It's a very busy time. So this year, we'll be focusing this effort in the fall. So please be thinking about your colleagues, the incredible work that they're doing, the commitment that they've had either in their role or in the Seattle Colleges, the work they're doing to grow and develop themselves for the sake of the work that they do for our students, and consider nominating them. Sometimes we have a group of people nominating a colleague. Sometimes we have a department or a supervisor nominating someone. Sometimes we have folks from a whole other campus nominating a great partner at another campus as well. So you can nominate any one of your colleagues for these awards. So please be on the lookout. Vanessa Johnson will be communicating with you all on behalf of my office this fall. And then in winter, we'll be announcing these. So in the spirit of recognizing and supporting excellence, please be thinking about who among you would like to recognize for a Lifelong Learning Award. I look forward to that, and we'll look forward to celebrating you as well in the coming year. And so now I'd like to, actually, to help inspire you and think about the type of colleagues that you might want to recognize, I know that there are a number of Lifelong Learning awardees in this room from past years. So if you have received a Lifelong Learning Award, would you stand and be recognized by your colleagues? You're here, I know it. Thank you. Well, the Lifelong Learning Awards also come with a $1,500 to support your professional development, personal development as you choose. And I know some of our colleagues have used it for conferences, other types of development workshops. Some have used it towards grad school or other things like that. So we really encourage you to recognize one another. It's a great thing to do, and we like to celebrate each other along with our students. All right, folks, it is time to bring today's convocation to this morning's event to a close and dismiss you out to various workshops that were mentioned earlier. I want to take a moment to thank you. It has been a very busy summer. It was a really, really active year. Just to quote Johnny Dwyer from earlier, what a difference a year makes. We are facing things in a very different way than we were last year. We've done a lot of great work together, and it gives me great hope for the things that we're going to be able to do differently and better moving forward. So thank you very much, everybody, and I'd like to ask Ernest Phillips to come to the podium and share with you some instructions for the day. But thank you again very much. Happy fall.
All right, thank you, everybody. We are here at the close of this portion. And one of the things that we've tried to do with Convocation, or our intent, is a slow incremental movement towards, hey, let's use Convocation as a time to welcome people back, to start the year, and also provide some direction. There are a lot of important things that we're doing, but the strategic plan is what guides us through the year. So we've been intentional about having these sessions. They're 2 25-minute sessions, as Dr. Lane said earlier. You have your choice. They're back-to-back, so you can at least attend 2. And one of the things and the goal of this is that we all understand our knowledge levels vary. Some high, some low, and we're trying to level set that a bit. So in these sessions, you'll hear about why this bridge plan why this particular tactic was chosen, why we're doing it, what the update is, and where our focus will be for the next year. And again, a lot of important things that we're doing, and that's okay, but these are the things that we're focused on, and hopefully this centers us all and knows that, hey, this year is where we are, and this will be in parallel with this, we'll be working on our overall strategic plan for the next 7 years. Before I leave, I'd like to ask you to help me in thanking Barb Childs, Paulette Ekman, and Rexel Yui for putting on Convocation. It's a good time. And we are glad that you are here. I really encourage you to engage in these sessions. There will be a time for a Q&A. And you'll learn why we're here, what we're doing this year, and where we're headed. It also should help us shake off this, well, we're doing all these things. No, we're trying to narrow that down. These are the things that we're focused on. So with that, these are over in the Olympic Hall. There should be plenty of room. We thank you for coming. We hope you had breakfast. And this afternoon, we have the networking sections. So after you attend these, there may be a group of people that you want to get together, because what we've heard in the past is that this is one of the few times where colleagues, similar operations or similar units can come together and talk. So we encourage you to do that. We want to do more of that. So next year when we send this out, if you want to get a group together, let us know. We may even move this around. But as DeAndre said earlier today, like, we're going to use this year to focus. These are things that we focus on and hope to accomplish by the end of the year. With that, go forth. Thank you.
Take 4.
Hi. Oh, not yet. My fault. Hi, my name is Gracie. This is Chapo, and I'm your student body president here at North Seattle. I'm sure, like many of the people here today, I was incredibly nervous when I first got to North. I was a 16-year-old kid who was trying to get out of high school as fast as possible, which meant that I would be a part of Running Start. It was the support of North Seattle's different programs such as LSAMP and Running Start, Seattle Promise, EDIC, Anapeasy, and TRIO that I was able to pursue a higher education. As a student, you're bound to meet some challenges, whether it's academic or not. But this also means that you're not alone. As for me, I was lucky to have awesome professors such as Tracy Furitani and Jackie Hong. They're accommodating, passionate, and they truly care for their students, which empowered me to pursue STEM. Writing this made me think about the ceremony and the families that are here supporting their loved ones on this momentous occasion. I'm a foster kid, which means family's a tough subject. North Seattle is where I found my family. It was the time that I spent in student leadership that brought me to the people that I consider my best friends. Having the support of your advisors is one thing, but to have the support of your fellow peers is another. Whether you're here with your family or not, thank you for being a part of mine for the past few years. From everyone here at North Seattle, we are proud of you and we wish you the best of luck on your educational endeavors. Thank you, Class of 2023. Best of luck. Bye-bye.
My name is Karina Osma Perez. I'm happy and honored to be here celebrating you, Class of 2023. I am originally from Cuba and I started attending Seattle Central in April 2021. As a new immigrant, I knew that among my priorities was to continue my education. Coming to the States was a big change. Everything was so new, so big, and scary. But being at Central made the transition easier. I found support through programs like Student Leadership, MESA, TRIO, STEM Core, Ready Set Transfer, PTK Honor Society, the Queer Trans Competitive Club, and the Math Club. They all opened their doors to me, and I found a small but vibrant community in which I felt my voice and contributions matter, and I could somehow leave my mark. Being part of this community was essential, especially given that these 2 past years have been a time of great uncertainty and change. We have faced a global pandemic, witnessed political turmoil, and the ongoing struggle for justice and equity. We continue to feel the effects of a gun crisis and the devastating impacts of war. We have seen the threat to our reproductive rights, to the right of being ourselves. We felt the impact of budget cuts, and we are battling to pay our faculty and staff for their invaluable work. And yet, we continue to excel. We have persevered with the support of our teachers, staff, and administration who continue to invest in us. We have succeeded. Examples are initiatives such as Springboard, a program that ensures everyone has an equitable opportunity to dream here. Even the physical campus is making changes by working on more accessible, gender-neutral bathrooms. This shows that we have come together as a community to support one another and affect change. And here we are today. Graduating marks a significant milestone in our lives. We have all worked hard to reach this momentous occasion. As I stand here today, I reflect on our journey, grateful for the lessons we have learned, the friendships we have made, and the memories we will always carry. I want to especially thank my family, all our families, for always being there every step of the way. Thank you. Thank you, professors, advisors, mentors, staff, friends. Without your support and motivation, we will not be here today. Thank you, Seattle Central, for giving me a space to learn and grow. To my fellow graduates, today is time to celebrate, to recognize all we have learned and achieved. I urge you to be proud and to continue to push yourselves, to embrace challenges, and to keep pursuing your passions. As we embark on this new journey, let us not forget what brought us to this point: our diversity and inclusivity, our social responsibility, our sense of community. Let us continue to strive for that excellence. Let us remember that we have the power to change the world for good. I have no doubt that we will. class of 2023. Congratulations.
Dear graduates, congratulations in this incredible milestone. My name is Ana Chamale and I am your student government president at South Seattle College. I am a Running Start student graduating with an Associates of Arts, and I am planning on continuing my studies in political science at New York University coming this fall. I am a proud Guatemalan Mexican American who, like many of us, is here today not only representing ourselves, but our children, our parents, our siblings, and our family back home. We are here and we have made it. And to my family back in Guatemala, estoy hoy aquí representándole. No te he olvidado, ni a ti ni a tus palabras de aliento. Cuando mis estudios se pusieron dificultades o hicieron ambivalentes, siempre pensé en ti y en cómo algún día estaré en tu nombre y de petales como esto para darle gracias y que lo hicimos. As your student government president, I have had the privilege of serving our students alongside an amazing team of officers who make our campus a better place. To my fellow officers, I want to say thank you for your unwavering dedication and commitment to our shared vision. Together, we have fostered unity and created a sense of belonging that unites beyond our tenure. Graduates, today marks the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter. As we embark on this new journey, I want to remind you of the values that have guided us throughout our time here and that will help us navigate the uncharted waters ahead. First, always be true to yourself. Don't let society or anyone else determine who you are or what you can achieve. Believe in your abilities to use them to make a difference in the world. Second, embrace failure. Failure is not the opposite of success, but a necessary part of it. Every failure teaches us something valuable that helps us grow stronger and more resilient. Third, never forget the power of community. The relationships we have built during our time here are priceless. The people we have met and the experiences we have shared will stay with us for a lifetime, and they are moments and relationships that we are meant to cherish. With that, I would like to thank the educators who have guided us through our educational journeys. Specifically, I would like to thank Eric Burns, my advisor, for being my counselor, tutor, cheerleader, and my family. To my teachers, Amy Razzo and John Osterman, thank you for helping me discover my love for public speaking and political science. To my family, a mi abuela y a mi madre, gracias por venir a este país con nada más que esperanza, por ser las mujeres que solo podría esperar a ser algún día. Gracias por llorar, reír y empujarme todos estos años para obtener la educación y las oportunidades que tú no pudiste. Me considero muy afortunada y orgullosa de tener ambos nombres y me gustaría decir que haré que tus nombres significan trabajo duro y grandeza, pero ya los han logrado. A mi abuelito, gracias por darme sabiduría y por demostrarme que la mejor respuesta ante cualquier situación es a la gran puchica. To my big brother, I thank you for pushing me to be better, for always being there when I need advice, help, and a hug. To my sisters, I thank you for being my shoulder to cry on and my role models. And to my father, I thank you for coming into my life and being the person I never knew I needed to accomplish what I have today. To my fellow graduates, as we reflect on the years past, I'm sure we all remember the countless hours of studying and the sacrifices made to achieve this moment. And although our journey here is ending, the world outside of the school walls are full of opportunities, challenges, and moments that will define us. We are here, and we have made it, and we are ready. Congratulations, class of 2023. Let's go out there and make our communities proud.